Hey there. So, today's episode of Rise and Vibes is sponsored by Mr. Keith's Auto Parts. If you guys are not following Mr. Keith's Auto Parts, make sure you go do that now. Mr. Keith is like a guru in this car world stuff. He's been around it for so long that if you have a question, if you want to know something about it, he's usually the man. Like, he's the person that I talk to when I have questions. So it would do you well to go follow him. Hey there. So today's guest is Turbo Chris. You guys know Turbo Chris. He has he does a lot of stuff in the car world, but he is most notably known for giving away those bad G bodies. So if you aren't following Turbo Chris, make sure that you go do that. I'm waiting on him to get on. He should be on in just a moment. So yeah. So I'll go ahead and pin Mr. Keith's information at the bottom of the screen. And let me see if, here. Hey.
Hello.
So first I wanted to tell you, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to get on and answer the fans' questions.
Okay.
It's definitely been a long time coming because they've been on my head about getting you on the show.
All right.
So
I'm glad you were able. I'm gonna support when I can.
Thank you. So so I definitely wanted to make sure I got you on before they killed me. Okay. All right. So I'll first start off with one of my questions, and then I'll get right into the fans' questions. Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
All right. So tell me how you got started being into cars.
Wow. I mean, that was a thing when I was growing up. I kind of grew up on a block where a lot of the older guys were like racing and stuff, so I grew up around it. You know what I mean? And I mean, most of Miami, it has always been into cars. You know, so I kind of saw my uncle with cars, like Grand Nationals and stuff, and that's how basically I got into the cars at a young age. It was like just something natural. It wasn't, I like, since I can remember, maybe 3-4 years old, I was playing with cars, and yeah, everybody outside was playing with cars, and it was just like a natural thing, I guess.
So what was your first car?
My first car was a Regal.
No.
Yeah, Buick Regal. I mean, I was old enough where, like, when I bought my first car, I had already liked the G bodies, you know. So I saved up my money and I got a Regal. I paid $800 for it.
Did it look like $800, or was it a nice Regal?
Nah, it was destroyed, man. I had no money, so it was like all messed up, primer down, and I used to ride around that thing with my head high, chin up.
Right.
But I mean,
how old were you?
I was like 14 or 15, and I remember going to school with it and everything, and you know, little by little, I started working on it, and man, that was a good old times, man. When people really didn't have too much money, you had to work on your own car, you know, to make it happen. Because now it's more like a flex to spend $100,000 before you get your hands dirty, and you do your own builds, you know.
Right. So what brought you to, okay, so for the people that have been under a rock, what would you consider that you do in the car world? Explain to people what it is that you do.
All right. So, well, I mean, I've always bought and kind of had nice, like, real clean G bodies. I used to sell G bodies once in a while, and I used to, like, originally I would build them. The problem was, whenever I would build them, people would call me to buy them.
Right.
Because I have a certain, like, way I build the cars, and it's kind of, you know, people like it. So I couldn't even keep a car. I would build it, and then it would just be sold. Like, everybody would be like, man, what happened? And I'll do another one and another. So I noticed, I'm like, man, maybe I could just sell cars once in a blue, you know? So, I mean, the internet kind of snowballed everything, especially Instagram. It kind of snowballed everything because before we would just, we would just buy cars because we really liked it. We really didn't make, I didn't make no money off of it. If anything, I was losing money,
Right.
But yeah, it just evolved. Instagram is kind of like a world where you can meet someone all the way in Georgia, Arizona, you know what I mean? And it's not just Miami, So people would just, DM me, hey, I want your car. Like, what do you need for it? Be like, damn, are you serious? Like, this to me, it's like a normal car, but they fell in love with it. So, I mean, I'm a G-body and a donk collector. I like clean stuff. When I get a chance, I build some cool stuff. I've built a couple turbo G-bodies and donks back in the day when not too many people were doing them. So that kind of made me get a little hype, but I'm just a normal guy that likes cars,
So would you consider yourself a old school car dealer? Is that maybe what you would consider yourself?
I like all cars, to be honest with you. I go from a Honda I just like clean stuff. So I'm not really a dealer.
You with no Honda. Don't, Chris, don't tell that. Okay, I'm gonna let you talk. My bad. I apologize.
I like everything. No, that's the truth though. I do like everything. It's just I wouldn't say I'm a dealer. Like, I do the raffles now because obviously it makes money. But I mean, I like clean cars, and most people like clean cars, and I just have a certain way that I kind of buy cars, with all the documentation and just clean and everything working, and just a different level. It's just something different that I do that a lot of people really don't do. To be honest with you, it wasn't really respected years ago, because I remember buying an original car with low miles. You were cheap. Like, you would pull up the Sonics and they'll be like, oh, that car, yeah, it's low miles, but who cares? It ain't dropped. You see what I'm saying? So they'll say, oh, there's no rims on it, don't got no motor. Anybody could do that, just put wheels on it. So then that's where I built the turbo dunk after that. Because I remember what happened. I remember I pulled up the Sonics a long time ago. I had a 19,000 original mile 71. I've always been into low mile cars. It was a beautiful car. It was a gold one. I think it's the last post I posted on my page. And when I pulled up, everyone wanted to look at it, but then I heard the little side talk, that shit ain't built, or that shit is slow, it's just stock, whatever, you know how people do it. So then it kind of got to me because I was kind of younger, so I was listening or trying to see what people were saying about me. So it upset me to the point where, I mean, I knew a lot about turbo cars because of the Grand Nationals and the G-bodies and stuff. So I said, you know what, I'm going to build a raw-ass dunk. I'm gonna build a turbo dunk, and that's what I did. I built the all-black 7.1 turboed out, fully built, top to bottom, and there wasn't many people back then that were doing it like that. And I spent an arm and a leg, but that was a nice car, and I guess it impressed a lot of people. But that's the truth. That's really what I mean. I love building cars, but I remember people talking shit like, "Oh, if your car ain't got 100,000 in it, or if it's not dropped, that shit whack, and the rims ain't, if it ain't got big brakes, that shit whack, or it ain't got no LS, is whack." And now the game is kind of changing to more original now.
Right.
A lot of people want some low mile shit, but I was on that a long time ago. And so yeah, I've done both worlds. Low mile cars, and I've built some cars. My preference is for sure an original low mile car, because you can't recreate that.
Right.
That doesn't exist. You can build a car 100 times, but you can't go back from original. So
right.
If you have a low mile original car, that's gold right there. That's a diamond.
Right. So one of the fans asked, are you gonna ever build cars for customers?
I have a shop, and I'm building cars right now. The problem is that it's kind of like, I had a shop before, and it's very difficult.
Right.
It's very difficult to build someone a car, but since it's not your money, and it's not, they want a certain way, they want to stay in a certain budget, and it's just very difficult to please people unless they have unlimited funds,
Right.
And I do build cars for certain people, but I do pretty well with the raffles, so I rather just do my cars, because because I don't have to deal with anyone talking bad about me or someone not happy with the work. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to please people. So
Right.
I prefer to build my own cars, and if you like it, you can buy it, or I do raffles. You know.
Somebody asked, are you going to put the Cutlass back in another raffle?
Man, that Cutlass has been in so many raffles. I think I gotta retire that car. That car gotta just stay put up or something. I don't know. I got a few cars I'm doing right now, and I got a couple people that I usually don't do people's cars on raffles. I usually do my own cars. But man, I got some of my buddies. I got really nice cars that I might do shortly. So I might do some of their cars.
So can I tell you that next to the 86 SST top that I'm building, the next car I want is a Grand National. And I said to myself, I need to win one of Turbo Chris. I said, because the way the game going with these Grand Nationals, I might not be able to afford to buy one, but if I win it, that'd be dope.
They are very expensive. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason I really just did a turbo car, or the last two I put in a turbo car, was just to spice it up a little bit. Because the goal is not, I don't really want to do those cars. Number one, they're very expensive. Number two, they're very finicky and they're very sensitive. Number three, not many people understand like the value of those cars, and they're special. Those cars really shouldn't be cut up and put big rims or that type of stuff. They're getting really rare. So the only reason I really did put a turbo car on there was to spice up the raffle game, because everyone and their mom is doing raffles now. So how do I go that next level? You know what I mean? Because I could give a clean G body and then keep the spots low so it sells out faster. But everyone's doing raffles. Every time I look on Instagram, there's a G body, there's another G body, there's 5 different people doing G body. So that's the reason why I kind of threw in a turbo car, or because I've done turbo cars in the past, Grand Nationals and stuff. But I don't know if you know, I raffled one off and somebody wrecked one. So that shit killed me. I was like, oh my God, that poor Grand National. And yeah, that's terrible, but that's the truth.
Listen.
I just did the turbo cars recently just to spice it up, because man, every page is doing a raffle. So I was like thinking, brainstorming, how can I make this pop off again and make it more interesting? Because it's the truth. You go online, you got 10 different guys raffling. You got people dancing in front of videos. You got, it's like, man, what can I do to make it interesting?
But here's the thing when it comes to those raffles, right? For me, I've never done a car raffle, but people have to be able to trust the person that's doing a raffle. Yeah. Anybody can say, okay, well, I'm gonna raffle off a house. Yeah. But am I gonna send you my $20, $30, $40, $50, $100 and then the house don't never get raffled? You feel what I'm saying?
That's true.
When it comes to you, I think I definitely participated in a couple of your raffles, but I know that I can trust it. Yeah. Like it's only a couple few people that I know that I can trust to because people work hard for their money. I don't care if your raffle was $1. I work hard for my money.
100%.
So if I don't get my dollar back, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Or a fair shot at the raffle.
Right. Like you already knew who you was giving a car to. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. Or you already knew who you was giving a car to.
Right. So but the way I do it, I mean, I invented, one day I just thought about it. I said, man, how would I enter a raffle? Like, what would make it appealing enough and trustworthy enough? I mean, I've been around cars my whole life, in Miami scene my whole life, since I was a kid. So I know people know my face, but online, like, how do I make it attractive? So I said, man, let them pick their own number and do a spreadsheet every few hours, and they can see the update. And no games. I'm not hiding nothing. It's not a link. It's like a start and end, and you can pick whichever number you want. You know what I mean? So
you see what Grand
He said,
Nah.
so we can raffle his car. He better quit playing. Now
Oh,
that'll be a raffle that'll, you know what
that's a
I'm
serious machine right there. I don't know who can drive that, man. I don't know.
saying? At least we'll know somebody fast.
Yeah.
Now, what's one thing that you wish that you could okay, so this is a two-part question.
Okay.
What do you think is the best part about the car culture? So the part you absolutely love, and the worst part, the part you hate, you're like, oh my God, I can't stand this part.
All right. My favorite part, hands down, is when people go above and beyond and they do something fresh. Innovation to me is key. Just like I always like, to me, competition is, everybody's like, oh, there's no competition. There's just competition is the best thing you could possibly have in anything, because just like Ferrari, Lamborghini, they will never improve if there's no competition. So to me, it's always been innovation. Like, who's gonna bring out the nicest combination, the coolest stuff? Like, I'm tired of seeing LSAs and Whipples. Like, that's just me. They all look the
Right.
same. That's why, to me, the turbo cars, they all look different. When you open the hood, you could do your own thing. It's gonna be different. So I'm not hating on the Whipple cars or the LSA cars, but they just look very robotic. You open the hood, they all look the same. So that, like, you got to get into some type of different colors and, do different things to make it pop. But innovation to me is the best. Like, that's my favorite part of the game, when someone goes above and beyond and they do some wildness and it looks good, and you're like, damn, Dade County got that flavor. Because, a lot of people try to do a dunk, but there's nothing like a Dade County dunk. Like, when you see it, you're like, damn. Like Two Flies car, that car's beautiful. Like, that car stands the test of time. Over 10 years it's been in the game. That's a beautiful car. But then you got guys that copycat, like, that's the worst part of the game. You get, you see somebody do something, and then now you do it, or you copy the color combination, or, the dick riding that goes on behind the scenes with all these dunk guys, That's why I really don't even get into, like, the politics of these other dunk guys, because, a lot of people say they build cars, but they really don't build cars. Like, their hands are clean. They get their manicures done. So they really don't turn a wrench. That's just the truth.
Right.
So, to me, is innovation for the best part of the game, when people go and do something completely off the wall and it looks good, and you got to salute to them. And then the worst part of the game is the copycatters or the dick riding and, like, so much talking, they just do so much talking, and they really don't have a portfolio, like, where's your portfolio, man? Like, you really ain't done nothing in the game. Now you got one car that you just dropped, and now you're somebody, Before, you have to have a portfolio. Like, oh, he's dropped 6, 7 cars, like, look at the portfolio, man. Like, look at my resume. Look how many cars I done dropped. Look at the quality of the drop. It's like, now it's just put dings on your car and you're cool.
You know what I say, though? Savvy said it one time. He was like, there are car purists.
Yeah.
So these are the people that they love cars. They are just pure. And then you got the people that are just car, how did he say it? He said car.
They jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah, the bandwagoners, right? So the bandwagoners, to me, a lot of them, I say this all the time, and I know they get mad. They never say anything, but I know they get mad. So there are people out there that have been lame since daycare. They was lame in elementary school. They was lame in middle school. They was lame in high school. And if they went to college, they was lame. And now they got a car and a couple dollars, or a couple cars and a couple dollars. And now all of a sudden they think that unlames them, right?
100%.
So me, I don't get on the internet and say anything. I just look and just shake my head like, God.
You're 100% right. And it's funny you mentioned that, because, like, I wanted to do, like, I really didn't want to say nothing about it, but I really wanted to do, like, some type of, like, a show. And I wanted to see who could go against who building cars. But like a build-off, like a Discovery Channel build-off type of deal. But, like, keep all that talking, like, just turn wrenches and build it, show it on camera, and then have a, like, when you're going to show the cars. and see
Right.
with a budget who can do what, you know, because I remember when I was, you know, in my teens, you know, and a lot of the guys that I know, like from down here, we built cars with no money. It was literally like getting under the car, turning wrenches, and we figured out how to make things nice. You know, we changed the bolts and things and made all the stainless steel bolts and washers, and you know, we just wired everything clean, and we made what we did what we could,
Right.
and we pushed levels at that time. You know what I mean? Obviously, someone that had a little bit more money with a candy paint job or something like that, it might have looked more appealing, but you could respect someone that put in their work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna push that out there. I'm gonna see who would wanna do some type of build off, a G body, a dunk, whatever, but with a low budget, you know, because anybody can buy Danes. Of course, it looks good with Danes. $20,000 is gonna look good on anything, but to build something with a budget, see what you could do, make something happen. I think that's gonna be interesting. At least for me, that would be interesting. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put that out there sooner or later.
It could be like, you know, that show that NBC that Stitch by Slick is on is Hot Wheels. So Hot Wheels sponsors it, but it could be something like that, and you can pitch it to like TV networks. Put me in. I want to be a coach. I want to be not a coach. I don't want to build a car. I just want to be a judge.
Yeah.
So don't forget me now when you get the TV deal. Don't act like you don't forgot me, Chris, because
I offered it one time in the past. I wanted to see what other state would go against Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had like 4 guys. It was me, Nino, Lee Anthony. Like these are some of the G-body guys I know from down here. And we offered any other state, like who is down to build a G-body with a $15,000. Like you have to only have $15,000. Like what can you really do? Like, you know, like, because that's a realistic number. Some people don't have money to build a car. So like I could stretch that 15,000. Like I can make a car look decent.
But see, here's the thing. You actually, and this is what I tell people all the time, right? So as me, a person that's building a car, but I don't know how to do motors and trans. I don't know how to do any of that thing. Those things, you kind of got the cheat code because you can actually do that. Exactly. So it would have to be against somebody that actually is a builder. And then if you pitch it to a TV network.
A lot of these guys ain't builders.
Well, they're good at delegation. How about that? Because I'm good at delegation.
It's funny because I'm dying for the time to come out where it's like, let me see you use a wrench, bro. Like you build cars, let me see you use it. You just talk. You're just an internet talker. You don't build cars. You're nobody, bro. You got some money, you got your little dome, you got to do your little shit, okay, cool. But at the end of the day, you're not a builder, man. You just, and it's perfectly fine not to be a builder. It's perfectly fine. Like you say, you pay, you build your car with someone, whoever you trust. But like to have that builder respect and to talk about you build this and build that, like, I don't know. I want to see you turn a wrench. I'm definitely going to say I built my car. I want to see you turn a wrench. Like, let me see you hold that wrench. It'll surprise a couple people.
So let me ask you a question. Since I say I built my car, but I really didn't like touch no wrenches. If I get a video of me turning a wrench, would I get some respect?
You see, but that's a sensitive subject. That's why I barely bring it up, or I don't even get into it.
Right.
Because someone that pays, yeah, you did build it, but you know, you paid to build it. But these guys that say like they have their names behind it, like, oh, I built this, I built that. Like, no, you didn't build it. I know who put that car together for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like. But it's a sensitive subject. I'm a builder. Like I turn my wrenches. I don't take my car to no shop. No one does nothing for me. I do all my stuff. I've always have. So, well, sometimes like the fabrication, I let Kevin K-Fab do it because he's just an absolute beast at that. So sometimes you got to see someone is a monster at something and to put your car on another level. I mean, obviously you want to do that. But as far as dropping motors in, doing everything, I do everything. I do my own wiring.
K-Fab is dope. K-Fab is dope. Like he do the darn thing.
It's another.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How do you feel? I mean, it's your money, but if I told you, like, I mean, you didn't build it because that's your money. To me, it's a little more sensitive when someone's acting like they did it. You know, like they did it themselves when I know they did.
Right.
It. You know what I mean?
But what I will say about that is
It's
That
sensitive.
ain't
It's personal.
something new. That shit been going on for years. You get what I'm saying? Delegation been going on for years. We just didn't know because it wasn't social media.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So not per se you, but it's a lot of people that I know that they had a shop. They didn't do that work.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The people they might have had people come in and do stuff to the cars or whatever.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, some of the shop owners I know, they just got people that work for them that build the cars. You get what I'm saying? So there is something appealing about somebody that can do it. But then really, if you're a shop owner, at some point you don't want to keep touching the cars. You want to get where you're cycling new people through, and you a boss. You ain't got no business touching no freaking. You delegate.
So at that point, are you a builder or a business owner?
Both.
Okay. Well, I do it. I mean, I agree with you 100%. But to me, that's kind of why I don't build so many cars. I don't want to get bored of it. Like,
right.
So like I'm like to compete and to do something that someone else hasn't done. Like, I don't know.
Let me ask you, when you do the build offs, when y'all do the build offs, are y'all gonna raffle the cars?
That's what I was gonna do. So I was gonna offer it like if you guys want this, we could do a build off against whoever wants to do it, and then at the end, whoever wins gets by the people, they vote who they like, what car they like more, and then we would give it away on a raffle or something. I mean, I thought about it, but it's just I haven't really popped off. I got bills, I got kids. It's a mission.
Well, that's the thing. If you pitch it to a TV state to a network, they give you the 15,000. So you ain't got to worry about. You get what I'm saying? So once you that's in the budget. These are all things that I'm learning about now that I'm trying to like actually move. Like, so I want my show to be actually on a network.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's not a lot of, how can I say this? It's not a lot of people. It's not a lot of us people on the TV.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So now, and definitely not a lot of females. And I've been doing this show since 2019. So I want to make it where I can bring a Chris on and I can introduce the world to Chris. Or I can bring this person from over here that's way from like Wyoming that nobody knows builds cars. Because that's what my show is like. I don't just bring, because you got a lot of followers. So I'm not just talking about you. I don't just bring you on because you got a lot of followers and you popping now. I bring you on because you're in the car world. There may be somebody that don't follow Chris that needs to know who Chris is that may win the Grand National for the raffle. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to bring everybody together. And if it gets you more followers, that's cool. If me interviewing you gets me more followers, that's cool. But I feel like we're in this together. We're here because we love cars, right?
Yep.
So it's somebody on here that loves cars that might not have known about Chris. Or somebody that's on here that loves cars that might not have known about KP.
Agreed.
So that's my thing.
Cool.
But now that I've been learning about how to pitch stuff to networks, they pay for everything. You don't got to pay for nothing.
I don't know if I want to do it that type of way because then they kind of own your stuff. So
well, I think you got to work that out. You got to get you an entertainment lawyer.
Yeah, you got to work all that stuff out. That's all. Like, but what I was gonna do was, I was gonna record everything myself and have it like me do the editing and everything and then sell it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you can make it a little more like that, but and you own your rights or whatever. But I mean, it's just something I've been talking about. It's not really nothing set in stone, or I don't really have anyone to go against. I mean, I think that'll be raw, because no one really.
Well, don't be acting like you forgot about me when the thing pop off.
The problem is that people copy so much, man, and it's like then it'll get copied, and then and people be like, "Oh, that's the most flattering," and it's not flattering. It's annoying. It's not
right.
Copying someone is not flattering. It's just annoying, and then you're doing it wrong. Like you're not even doing it right when you're copying me. Like, don't just do your own thing, man. Like, there's so many different avenues everyone can go to, and they choose to try to copy the shit out of you. Like, man, I hate that. But
So you don't believe that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery?
it's to me, it's not. It's just annoying. When I see it, it's like, man, you could have tried something way better than that. You know, like
Right.
I can't copy anyone. I don't feel like that. That's just not me. I can't do it.
If you have not already, what is your dream car to build?
My dream car to build. I've built my dream.
I can't hear you, Chris. Chris, I can't hear you. I can't
Hear me now?
hear you. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, I think I'm gonna have to cut it short. I think my wife was calling me, but hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna build a Japanese car. I'm gonna build the RX-7.
What?
Yeah, I want to build an RX-7. I've always loved that car. They're very expensive, so it's like a Supra.
Right.
I like all cars. Like again, I like Tesla, Honda, Porsches. I like donks, and I go through phases. So, I mean, I really like that RX-7, and I haven't really seen one recently, like super raw. So I'm gonna do my little flavor.
What's next for you?
Hopefully, I do something with like a show or a build off. We'll see what happens.
Okay. But until then, what's next? What we getting another raffle sometime? So what's going on?
So I've been like, I usually give a little break because I don't really like hitting the followers like that with back-to-back raffles, because I mean, it's probably hard on some people, you know? I mean, I don't know, but to me, it's like, give it a break and then I'll do another raffle. I let the people decide what they like. So yeah, I got a couple cars lined up, ready to raffle. I'm just giving it like a little grace period so people don't get burned out or use up all their money. You know, some people have gambling problems, you know, and I don't want to be the reason why you're low on money, you know.
Right.
I'm getting another call. I might have to cut it short.
Oh, well, those are really were all my questions. Was there anything else that you want people to know before you get out of here?
No, I mean, I think, bro, just be yourself, you know, like you can get inspired by somebody, but at the point where you start copying someone or like, I mean, you need to find your own artistic flavor in anything, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that would be my only suggestion or advice to someone out there.
So you don't know when the next raffle's coming? Because they asked me that.
Probably in a couple weeks, like 3-4 weeks.
You gonna tell us what?
Well, my buddy has a cutlass he wants to do, a candy cutlass. For some reason, people like G bodies in my page. They like G bodies over dunks. So I got a dunk that I might do. It just depends on. I let the people vote, so they can choose whatever they like. So there's a 7-1 hardtop, super nice, super beautiful. And my buddy has a cutlass, super nice, super beautiful. What else? There's a few cars.
Mm-hmm.
But keep it on the low.
Okay. Well, sir, thank you so much for sitting down and talk to us and answer
No
the fans'
problem.
questions. And yeah, I got some ideas, so I'll be sending them your way. I really appreciate you. And yeah, we'll see you soon again.
Yes. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much. So guys, if y'all missed any of today's episode of Rides and Vibes, sponsored by Mr. Keith's Auto Parts, it will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, click the link in my bio and you can you can view the full episode, today's full episode, and you can also catch up on any past episodes. Thank you guys for tuning in to Rides and Vibes. We are now officially in year 4. So September will be our 4-year anniversary. Thank you guys for continuing to rock with Rides and Vibes. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all, and see you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.